When you're using images in HTML, one of the most frustrating things can be when your image simply doesn't show up. You may think you have everything correct. You have an image tag and you have a source value, an SRC value, but it just isn't showing up when you look at the web page in the server. Now, sometimes it won't show up on your local machine. Sometimes it won't show up on the server. Sometimes it won't show up in either place. In any case, it can be frustrating. We're going to try to walk through some things that you should troubleshoot. Anytime you are not seeing an image where you expect it to be, there's really only 3 issues that could be coming into play. One is that you have bad code. Remember, there's a specific way you build an image tag, the IMG, SRC, and then the location of the image. Maybe you have a misspelling in there. Maybe instead of an MIG SRC, you have an MIG SCR. That would break the code and you wouldn't be able to see the image. Another reason is maybe you have a bad image name. There's no interpretation. The HTML file in the browser don't try to make a decision saying, well, I think this is what the author meant to say. I think this is the name of the file they want. They're going to look for the specific file you specified. So make sure the file you're looking for matches the name in the code. The third reason, and one of the most common problems people have when their image won't show up in their HTML, is because they actually haven't put their image in the spot where the HTML or the web browser is looking for it. So for instance, if you are expecting the file to be in a file called image or in a folder called images, and you actually put the file in a folder called pictures, well, that won't work. It has to be a match. Now, when you're working on a local server like in Aptena and then a remote server, one of the most common things that can happen is that you'll see it on your local server because you've been working on the page there and the image has been there all along, and then you forget to upload it to the remote server. And we're going to actually take a look at that together and see how that would work and see how you can troubleshoot this issue. Now remember, from Aptena, we can take a look at the page locally. It looks great. We have a new logo image at the top, and then we have 2 bullet images, the flourish.gif images, down between the address and the city and between the zip code and the phone number. Everything looks great there, right? Now let's publish this to the web, to the student server. I'm going to go ahead and publish the index file. And looks like that uploaded okay. Then we're going to publish a style file because we have styles that are called. It's important that we have both files on the server. And once we've done that, we're going to actually look at it. But there's a problem. The problem is that the logo image is missing and the 2 bullet image, the flourish.gif image, aren't showing up on the server. So we have to try to troubleshoot and see what's going wrong here. There obviously is a problem because it was working on the local server, on your Aptena server, but it's not working on the remote student server. When we look at the code, we'll see that there's some nice features where it will allow us to actually click on a link. When we click on the link in our source code, and this is the code that is not showing the image correctly, we'll notice that we can see the whole path to the image on the student server, but the server is giving us an error saying 404, files not found. There is no file by that name in that location. So let's go back into Aptena and take a look around. We see that the file's actually there on the server. We're going to go ahead and upload it. And before we do that, we're going to actually look to see if the images directory is even there. And it wasn't. So we're going to go back and we're going to upload the file. Once we do that, we're going to go back to our browser and take a look and see if it's there. And it is. The image is now on the server. Let's see how it looks in the page. The image is there, the logo image, but the 2 bullet images down in the address footer are still missing. We need to go back to Aptena, find those images, and upload them to the server. Once we upload them, we'll take a look and reload the page. When we do, you'll notice that the logo image is at the top and the two flourish bullet images are at the bottom. Now, keep in mind, it can be very frustrating. I said this at the beginning of the video. When you're expecting to see images in a certain location, keep in mind there are generally just 3 reasons why your image isn't showing up. 1, you have bad syntax. Your tags are misconfigured. And that could be something as simple as maybe a misspelling in the tag. Instead of having an IMG SRC, you have an IMG SCR. If you do that, the tag will be broke, it will not work, and your image won't show up. The other reason you can have images not show up is because you're using a bad file or folder name. If you have an image named logo.gif and you're looking for in your code an image called lakelandlogo.gif, that's not a match. Your user's browser and the internet won't be able to find the image. They're not going to try to guess. The third reason, and the one we demonstrated a solution for here, was if you have not uploaded the image to the server. You've referenced the location correctly, you've formatted the tag correctly, you just have not put the image up onto the server. This can be a very common error. Go back to your Aptena program or whatever you're using on your local server and upload your images. Now I upload them one at a time. Remember, I upload the logo first and it fixed that problem. I had to then go and upload the flourish image. Now I could have solved that by just going to the folder that was named images and uploading everything at once. That way everything I would need, not only for this particular portion of the assignment, but for the rest of the assignment or for the rest of the pages you're working on, will be there and ready to go next time we call them in the HTML. Now on to the next lesson.